Good morning, everyone, and thanks for tuning in for another episode of SmartFoxTV. Remember, if you do like our videos, please subscribe.
Welcome to Smart Fox. Most think Native Americans are defined by race and that the few tribes left are basically all the same. Native Americans, or indigenous people, are defined by their sovereignty. There are 574 native nations recognized by the United States. This map shows about 30 of them. It's a very diverse and very much still here in the United States. It is what ties them to the land. That was a quote by Brett Chapman, a Native American attorney who continues to fight for the legacy of his relative Standing Bear, who was the first Native American to win civil rights in the United States. In 1914, Reverend Red Fox James traveled 4,000 miles to Washington, D.C. to petition the president for a day to honor Native Americans. In 1968, California Governor Ronald Reagan designated the fourth Friday in September as American Indian Day. And then in 1990, President George H.W. Bush designated November as the National American Indian Heritage Month. Native Americans are not just like other Americans. Tribal citizens have a unique legal status based on the history of state and federal laws, treaties, and court decisions. According to a recent study, 87% of United States schools don't cover Native American history beyond the year 1900. Teaching Native American histories is meaningful, but it also requires us to think about colonization as an ongoing process, not just something that ended in 1776. Representation matters. It's hard to develop good self-esteem when the indigenous people are ignored or misrepresented in books, curriculum, and public spaces. There's a lot of contrasting images versus what Native Americans may dress as, depending on the tribe they're in, what they dress as on a normal day basis. So Native American, the title, is pretty generic. Tribal names are more specific. So Native American or American Indian or indigenous people or First Nations are general terms that lump together extremely diverse people. So it's important to learn and use specific tribal names whenever possible. Tribes have their own cultures, languages, Aboriginal lands, traditional outfits, and everything in between. The cultural difference from one tribe to another would be as big as the cultural difference between the United Kingdom and Egypt. To assume that all natives wore loincloths or buckskin or hunted buffalo or whatever else that has been told in the past with history is incorrect, because people have a biological tie to their tribe and an enrolled member number the same way as we do as citizens of a state or a country. Native American and First Nations, there are a lot of catch-all terms that we are using to describe the North American indigenous residents. So which one is the right one? The honest answer is that it depends. Each of these terms is going to have a fan and some who do not like it. Indian or American Indian is considered the official U.S. government term. If you know the tribe somebody is in, you would state their tribe. In casual conversation, people might say Native American or indigenous people. In addition, be careful of some terms that may be used that could reflect negativity towards the indigenous people, such as the term spirit animal. Some people say somebody is their spirit animal if they really like them, because for a tribe, at the very least, the process to receive a spirit animal is considered a hard and personal journey, not unlike receiving a military honor. It can cheapen a very important cultural achievement for a very marginalized group of people. Native people are also rarely shown in the media, almost never in a contemporary light, so the millions of Native American people that currently are listed in the U.S. Census which is similar to the size of the Jewish American population, are not rare. They are doing amazing things. Good intentions are nice, but they mean little without good information and understanding, and educating yourself about Native American history and how it affects the present day can be fascinating and uncomfortable at the same time. But I hope you will continue to learn and pass it on.
Hey everyone, this is Kim and thanks for joining me for some dad jokes. Dear Math, grow up and solve your own problems. This is Kim and thanks for joining me for my segment on dad jokes.
Today is November 2nd, and on this day in history, in 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill in the White House designating a federal holiday honoring Martin Luther King Jr. to be observed on the third Monday of January. On November 2nd, 2000, the first residential crew arrives around the International Space Station. The arrival of the Expedition 1 marked the beginning of a new era of international cooperation in space and of the longest continuous human habitation in low Earth orbit. The world's first space hotel will open in 2027, and you can even buy a vacation home there. The Voyager station is already taking reservations. Space tourism is no longer the stuff of the science fiction. It'll cost a casual $5 million for a 3.5-day stay. Today's news: world leaders have gathered to Glasgow, Scotland for the hugely important COP26 climate meeting. Many experts believe this meeting will decide whether or not the world will take action on the climate crisis in time to save the planet. Overall, the main goal is to make sure the world will still have a chance to limit global warming. Today is also the first day of Diwali, the Festival of Lights. The 5-day event, which starts today, is observed by over 1 billion people worldwide. The ancient tradition dates back over 2,500 years and is one of the major holidays celebrated. That's all for SmartFox News.
This is Kim.
This is Tracy.
Hi, this is Sally.
And thanks for watching
SmartFox TV.
Stay Foxy.